from Waxhaw, North Carolina. Time for another edition of the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Porter Ridge at Marvin Ridge. Couple of teams having pretty good seasons so far. Couple of teams we've seen once already this year on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week with Reggie Walker. I'm Darren Vaught. We're glad you're here. Reg, this one, there's a lot to be excited about. Both of these teams coming off of prior to bye weeks. They shared that, having last week off. Losses for each of them their last time out.
And they're going to want to establish the trenches, both of these teams, early on in this game and continue that through it. Porter Ridge, a team that three-headed monster in that backfield in terms of running backs with Peoples, Kennedy, and Taylor, as well as the quarterback, Jared Lockhart. He can run the football as well. They're going to look to pound this football, triple option-based principles with this offense, eat up some time off the clock, and really try to win this game in the trenches.
They'll look to keep it on the ground and do so with a lot of players. Meanwhile, number 3 in blue there, he's going to be the predominant ball carrier for Marvin Ridge, and a team that also likes to run.
Inside, outside, off tackle, it doesn't matter what you call. Give that young man the football, his vision, his patience, his understanding of how to set up blocks. It's a true key to what this offense is going to do. 9 touchdowns, he's got the ability to take it to the house as well.
4 100-plus yard rushing performances for Jeremiah Lazuski so far in their 5 games this season. A lot to be excited about. Porter Ridge at Marvin Ridge, the Pirates at the Mavericks when we return on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Bahakel Sports Game of the Week, a game-time decision we did not expect. Evan Metters, the quarterback, usually for Marvin Ridge, number 5 in blue there, just walked off the screen. A tremendous dual-threat player, recently selected to participate, one of 2 North Carolina quarterbacks in this year's Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas. He will not play in this game as he was knocked out a couple of weeks ago in their loss against Myers Park.
Yeah, knocked out in that game. We thought that he would play tonight, so either something happened Thursday in practice or we got some information that was not necessarily as accurate, so he's not going to play tonight. We'll see how they play without him.
Dawson Jones boots it away for Marvin Ridge. It's back into the end zone over the head of Ziggy Harris, the star return man for Porter Ridge. And a touchback gives it to the Pirates at their own 20 to get things started. So we talked about the offense, all of the participants the Pirates will utilize. Pretty impressive year so far for their junior quarterback, Jared Lockhart, especially in this type of offense, right? It's a tough thing to navigate when you're trying to spread it around as much as they do.
And I think one of the misnomers about Lockhart, when you look at him and when you think about this football team with those 5 rushing touchdowns, people think because they run so much triple option, he's not a true dual threat. He absolutely is. He's dangerous with his feet, but can beat you with his arm as well.
And Lockhart gives up the middle on the first play from scrimmage. It'll go for a gain of about 2. And the Pirates, as you might have expected, go first with the run.
Yeah, that's going to be their calling card all night. They're going to run this football. They don't huddle a lot. They kind of get up to the line of scrimmage, but they are not worried about going with high tempo in this game. They like to go ahead and run this football.
Samad Peoples with the first run of the day. Now Lockhart rolls out, pitches Danny Kennedy's way. It's a big loss on the option, but he really didn't have anywhere to go.
No, but that's the example of what we mean by this triple option offense and how it's always a factor. Every time they do something, especially going to the edge, they're going to have an option, some kind of an option off of it. Sometimes it's a short pass. In that particular situation, a pitch there in the running game.
So now Porter Ridge with a 3rd and 13 or 14 yards. Lockhart immediately rolls. Puts it into the air, bobbled and nearly picked off, but it drops and will create a 4th and long situation. So an expected punt by Porter Ridge here on a 3 and out.
Yeah, well, and if you're Marvin Ridge, that's exactly what you want. Find a way to minimize or take away 1st and 2nd down and force Lockhart to become a pure passer on 3rd down. Take away this running game early by getting penetration, getting negative plays, and force them to have to throw the football to beat you. It's not about Lockhart's ability. It's more about what this team wants to do overall.
He was looking for James Antweiler, the sort of H-back. Chance to block it there for Cole Seawright of Marvin Ridge. A high bounce, snagged by Jake Schumacher, and he's immediately blown up. Nice coverage there by Porter Ridge.
Yeah, Schumacher got to be careful there. Once that ball bounces, you just go ahead and get out of the way. Very dangerous to pick that ball up on a hop right there with 2 defenders in your face.
Pretty good starting field position for Marvin Ridge as they'll begin at their own 40. So we mentioned no Metters at quarterback. Braden Rediger in his stead gets his first start of the season. He played most of the game against Myers Park, and on the first play out of the shotgun formation, it's a handoff to Jeremiah Lazuski. Go figure.
Yeah, and I expect to see a lot of that throughout this game, right? Not only because of the player that Lazuski is, but also when you've got a different quarterback in there, not your normal guy, then you might compensate to protect him a little bit, not put him in as many situations to have to really push the football down the field.
Still 10 to play in the first offensive drive for Marvin Ridge. Lazuski again has it poked away. Rediger picks it up, and he coughs it up. It's scooped up. Jatavian Taylor finally brought down near the 30-yard line, and another turnover forced. One of the things that is most impressive about this Porter Ridge team.
This is Porter Ridge. It's really that simple. They find their way to get their hands on the football. Excellent job swiping at that ball. They knock it out twice, and they get it back for their offense in plus territory. Great field position for the Pirates.
At the Marvin Ridge 31, that is the 6th fumble recovery this season for the Pirates. So the offense right back out there for Porter Ridge. Lockhart slings toward the sideline, and it deflects off of Rayshawn Elmore's hands. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
And those are the kinds of plays they've got to have, Porter Ridge, right there. You complete that ball, it's 2nd and medium, and all of a sudden this running game really is a factor. You don't complete that throw there, now you're in a 2nd and long. It starts to squeeze down that playbook.
Lockhart, 2 steps back. Out of the pocket he goes, and he slides after a gain of about 4. Smart play.
That's a very smart play. Get what you can and get yourself in a manageable 3rd down. That's a really, really good decision. Great eyes, great patience, and he picks up positive yards to set his team up in a good situation on 3rd down.
So this will be 3rd and 6. And you said it earlier, Reg. I mean, that's 1st and 2nd down. They were looking to pass on both of those. Here's 3rd. It's the option. Lockhart keeps it himself, wrapped up by Nate Rawls in the middle of the defensive line. That'll go for little to no gain, maybe a yard. And it's 4th down.
Yeah, but that play call told me they may go for it here. As you see the great penetration there by Marvin Ridge on defense. Would not surprise me if they went for it here because of the field position situation. And plus, obviously, without Metters in there for Marvin Ridge, that's a factor as well.
It does look like they're going to go for it. Jatavian Taylor, by the way, checks into the game. Lockhart out, and they were going to utilize some sort of single wing, three-back look. So a timeout called by Marvin Ridge so they can get their ducks in a row. So, Reg, how likely is that, okay, we're maybe going to punt it here, but we throw a wacky formation out there to get the Mavericks to burn a timeout?
Well, I think it's all of that, right? And you want to see if they can get a line to it. A lot of these coaches have fakes put in that are based on a look. And so in that particular situation, you want to see if you got the right look and had a chance to run the play. And plus, where they're at, Darren, I'll be honest, I don't know how much field position you're going to get out of a punt here. So to me, I think it makes more sense to go for it anyway. And again, it's early in the game. Your defense has already created a turnover, and you've got essentially a backup quarterback you're playing against on the other side.
Yeah, 4th and 6. Here is the more conventional 4-wide receiver set. Lockhart back. He hits. Nope, doesn't hit on the screen. He was looking for Danny Kennedy.
Yeah, I think that's on Lockhart. He panicked a little bit. Screens, you got to keep drifting and let the pass rush come to you. He got rid of that ball, in my opinion, about a hair too quick and didn't let that screen fully develop.
So it turns it over on downs. And the Mavericks back out there, 2nd go of it. They are hoping better than the first. Just a couple of plays in, they coughed it up via a fumble. Rediger with Lazewski in the backfield. Hands it off. Lazewski labors back to the line of scrimmage and gets maybe a couple of yards.
This is going to be a heavy piece of this offense, is getting Lazewski involved and continuing to feed him and seeing if this offensive line can dominate this football game.
Now Rediger back to pass for the first time. Out to the sideline. It's caught. Mark Arthur, not quite to the 50-yard line, gets the first down.
Good job there by the quarterback, understanding the situation. You get a little off coverage. Just go up, run a little bit of a curl or a little stop route. Get it out there on your guy's chest right away and let Arthur go make a play after the catch.
Arthur, a senior, two-way guy, one of the team captains for this Mavericks team. Rediger out of the shotgun again. Lazewski on a little wheel route. Now he's looking up the middle, and he finds Jake Schumacher. Consecutive first downs for the Mavericks.
Really good job hanging in the pocket. You like the play call. What I love the most, this offensive line is stepping up and protecting the backup quarterback, giving him time in that pocket to survey the coverage and then get the ball over the middle.
So how about this? The passing game more effective for the Mavericks here on their second offensive series. Lazewski with his 4th carry of the game. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And again, this Porter Ridge defense, they expect a lot of run, especially when they saw a different quarterback in the game. They're going to load up and do everything they can to minimize Lazuski in this running game.
A play fake. Here's Jackson Gibbs on the screen. Another short gain, 1 yard to make it 3rd and 9. How about the Mavericks here? I mean, I think we maybe pegged them into a hole at the start of tonight's show. They're getting a little creative offensively.
Well, what they're doing is they understand that the box is probably loaded, and we saw their first couple of runs. The box was certainly loaded, so they're trying to just get those linebackers a step deeper and those safeties back a little bit so they can run the football. As you look at this alignment right now, you think about it, the deepest man on the Porter Ridge defense is only about 9 yards deep.
Here's it is on 3rd and 9, Redinger to the sideline, and it's caught by Gibbs. He turns up the sideline and gets out of bounds near the 25. They'll call it out at the 26-yard line. Another first down for the Mavericks.
Young guy's pitching it right now. The Rediger is just, he's back there, he's poised, he's confident, and he's finding the right guys right now, reading this defense very well.
Fakes the handoff to Lazuski, goes again to the sideline, and it's caught by Arthur, who's ripped out of bounds.
Pass complete to Mark Arthur.
Another completion and positive yardage. It's a gain of 4 as it will be marked. Motion man for Marvin Ridge. Lazuski blown up. Jatavian Taylor was right there. Otherwise, I think Lazuski might have had 6.
But they're starting to see some space now with these linebackers. The linebackers there, you see right before the snap, they were starting to widen out a little bit, preparing for those routes and to be able to drop into their zones. And instead, you get an inside run and you get positive yards there to set up a very manageable 3rd and 3. This is the way they want to be in terms of Marvin Ridge ahead of the change right now, as they actually switch quarterbacks here and bring Jackson Clegg in there. So this is likely going to be more of a wildcat kind of look. This is going to be much of a keeper here for number 14, Clegg.
Yeah, Clegg, the junior, listed as a tight end linebacker, another one of those H-back types, and now they create some confusion. Porter Ridge calls a timeout, and with 3rd and 3 when we return, we'll step aside. Still no score in the first quarter on the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Tonight's Bahakel Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances, your outdoor kitchen and tailgate headquarters. And by Acosta Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, the household name for quality and trust. 3rd and 3 for Marvin Ridge, coming out of the timeout. Here's Jackson Clegg, blown up in the backfield, grabbed by Harrison Johnson and brought down to create a fourth down situation.
That's a great job understanding the situation. Jackson Clegg listed as a tight end linebacker type. He's not going to throw the football there. So great job there by Harrison attacking downhill, penetration, playing in the backfield, and gets the big stop there to force the field goal attempt.
Now 4th and 6. Out comes Dawson Jones, the senior kicker, on his way to Army West Point. From the right hash, this will be 38 yards in distance. It is up. Got plenty of leg. Nods by both officials, and it's through to make the score 3-0 in favor of Marvin Ridge.
A couple of things about that drive that you love. Number one, obviously, you got some points on the board. Your defense is playing well. But most importantly, I think you've got your backup quarterback in Rediger feeling confident that he can throw the football against this Porter Ridge defense. Now all of a sudden, Porter Ridge and Coach Hurts have to think about this passing game to go along with the running game. Now that you can get them a little bit off balance and mix those things up and see, can't you create some big plays?
11 p.m. tonight and every Friday. Get yourself to BahakelSports.com to check out the Blitz. The entire Bahakel Sports crew puts you through all of the relevant action in the area of high school sports tonight. So we're talking highlights, we're talking scores.
I heard you're going to be there.
Features. Reggie and I might stop by.
No, not me, just you.
Yeah, just me. That's news to me. I need you to break it down.
I don't know about that.
This kickoff brought to you by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances, your outdoor kitchen and tailgate headquarters.
Good people that work over there at Queen City. I like it.
Dawson Jones leans into it. This is returnable. Keisaiah Harris takes it out from inside the 5 and slides down just shy of the 30.
Keisaiah Harris on the carry.
And field position in this game, especially off of kickoffs, special team situations, going to be very, very, very important. The way these two defenses have showed tonight that they're playing so far.
Jared Lockhart and company back out for the Pirates. He's got Samad Peoples in the backfield with him. It goes to Peoples, boulders forward for a gain of 3. Nate Rawls there at the top of the tackle for Marvin Ridge. He was joined by Cole Seawright as well.
And again, this defense continuing to show that they are prepared for the assignment, if you will, defensively in dealing with this running game. This is where, if you're Porter Ridge, you got to find a way to just get something big, 10, 12-yard run, 15 to 25-yard pass play. Just create a little bit of an explosive to get that defense reeling a little bit.
Lockhart bobbled the shotgun snap, gets it out to Danny Kennedy, who gets near the first down mark. I don't think it'll be enough, but another gain of about 5.
Great job there by Lockhart, just handling that football and then getting the right grip on it, getting it out there to Kennedy to get some positive yards. It's a really good job, hand-eye coordination, and also poise. He didn't panic there, try to tuck it and take off running, any of that. He just made sure to get that ball out there to his receiver.
Also makes it now 3rd and 2. Their best third down situation of the night so far. It is Samad Peoples, shakes a man in the backfield, lowers his shoulder into Mark Arthur, and is eventually brought down at the 45. Gain of 8, plenty enough for the first down. Another Acosta Heating, Cooling, and Electrical first down.
Good, solid physical run right there by Porter Ridge to move the chains and continue to. This is where they want to be. They want to eat time up off the clock, use that running game with those triple option principles, and try to just basically give you body blows for 3 quarters, and then in the 4th quarter take control.
Quick pass out to the left side. Rami Sahir
on the reception.
pulls it in for Porter Ridge, his first catch of the night.
And that's just real simple. I got off coverage out there. I see my receiver. I'm just going to grab it right off the snap. I'm going to throw it out there to him. If he makes a guy miss, great. Worst case scenario, he catches the football and goes down right away, and we're +6. We're playing with a 2nd and 4.
Second down, handoff goes to Peoples. He got pushed back, but got 2 yards prior to that. It'll be another short 3rd down.
And that's what they want, right? They want manageable, very easy 3rd downs. Remember, Lockhart at that quarterback position, 6'3", 6'4". You get him with a head of steam going forward, he can fall forward to pick up those 2 yards for the 1st down. It's like officially 3rd and 3 here, but yeah, they're gonna get the fullback there, Antweiler, for a false start.
So that turns 3rd and 3 into 3rd and 8 for the Pirates.
3rd down and 8.
And those hurt, right? You get a 3rd and short, very manageable. You feel like you can convert that with your running game, and then you pick up a penalty, and now you're in a pretty obvious passing situation.
Rami Sahir comes in as a substitution, took a play off. Now he's on the bottom part of your screen. Play fake. It's a screen play. Kennedy catches and is ankle tackled at the 50. That'll be about 5 yards shy of the 1st down.
I like the play call there, and they actually had it. I thought Kennedy should have worked back to the inside. That's where the blockers were coming from. I think if he works back to the inside off of that catch, I think he's able to pick up the 1st down. But nonetheless, the Pirates here forced the punt. Again, a big stand by this Mavericks defense.
They send out Christian Bridewell to punt it away on 4th and 3. Jake Schumacher, the return man for Marvin Ridge. Might he have an opportunity? Bridewell gets it off, right to Schumacher. And a hard cut up the middle, and he's brought down shortly after. Not bad given the situation that he was given there with the punt.
Yeah, solid job on the return there. Nothing but Pirates in front of him after he made the catch. Made a couple of guys miss and got some positive yards. I tell you, Darren, that's like a lonely feeling when you're back there receiving a punt, because that ball's up in the air and your eyes are up and down, up and down. And what I mean by that to the people at home is they're up to find the ball, and then they're down, where's the defender? And then right back up, where's the ball? Down, where's the defender? That is a lonely, lonely place to be as a punt returner in football.
We were talking to one of the guys on the production crew, Isaac, about school and certain classes before we came on. That's geometry, that's physics. You got a lot going on when you're trying to catch one of those, right?
Geometry, physics, and then the one thing that's not really a subject, fear.
Yeah, they don't teach that.
Well. No, they don't teach that.
Nice run by Jeremiah Lazewski. He gets about 7 there. And that brings us to the end of the 1st quarter of action. Look, we told you this one was going to be tight. We probably could have given you a clue it was going to be low scoring. 3-0 after 1. through one quarter here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Porter Ridge trailing by 3 so far in this one, but they've already recovered a fumble that they forced. So tick that number 5 up to 6 on the season. I mean, these dudes are just ball hawks, right? They get after it.
Well, what they do really well, I think, is not only do they get to the football, the first guy gets there, the second and third and fourth and fifth, they're all swinging for the football. I think that's what makes them excellent, as this defense has done a really good job so far in this game. Gave up the 3 points at the end of the one drive, but they've done an excellent job so far through this game.
Nice crowd on hand here at Marvin Ridge. Pirates 4-1 on the season. Mavericks hosting at 3 wins and 2 losses. And now Braden Rediger, backup junior quarterback. A quick toss. Jeremiah Lazewski, like a bullet, shoots through a couple of attempt tackles. I say attempts. It was successful. Taylor and Johnson combined forces. And they stopped Lazewski after a gain of 10.
Well, I like the play call there, getting the ball out wide, because these linebackers and this defensive front has not allowed anything up the middle or inside the tackles. Get outside and see if you can beat them that way.
Another Acosta Heating, Cooling, and Electrical first down. Play fake. Rediger lofts it up for Schumacher. Hit as he caught it. Stays on his feet. Relentless defense for Porter Ridge. That's C.J. McLaughlin, who eventually able to bring him down.
Yeah, but this is an example of bring your feet and make sure you wrap up. Didn't wrap up there. Schumacher made him pay for it, picking up big-time yardage there to set up a second and short.
Gain of 6 on the pass. Schumacher, the motion man. It's a handoff. Lazewski struts a couple of yards forward. See where the spot puts them for third down. Looks like they've got 2 to go.
That's okay, right? You've got a quarterback in there that was not the starter at the beginning of the season, obviously. Starting quarterback is out. If you're going to tell me going into the game, if I'm Aubrey Carter, the head coach of Marvin Ridge, that I'm going to be in 3rd and 2s and 3rd and 3s all night, I'm telling you, sign me up for that without my starting quarterback in the game.
Signals being called from the sideline. Rediger immediately rolls, being chased toward the sideline. He's got to get rid of it. Incomplete.
Pass incomplete, brings up 4th down.
That's an actually very, very experienced play. He tried to keep looking down the field, hoping something would come open. Nothing did, but he got rid of it before he could end up taking a sack there in negative yards.
So now another 4th down, this time for Marvin Ridge. Will they go for it with just 2 to gain? They send out Dawson Jones. And it looks as if they'll punt it away right around midfield.
And this is about field position. This is about flipping the field and taking the field position. If you can get a good punt there, not a great punt, got a solid punt. But that was about, can we flip the field, back them up, force maybe a 3 and out, and then get the ball back in plus territory.
Yeah, it went out of bounds near the 20-yard line. The spot is going to have Porter Ridge, I believe, at their own 23.
Look at you, Eagle Eye over there.
It's math. We were talking about.
I was told there would be none of that doing this.
School subjects earlier. That's math. I didn't like it. I was okay at math.
Says the professor.
Lockhart receives the snap on first down for Porter Ridge. Overthrows Ziggy Harris.
Pass incomplete. 2nd down.
Yeah, Harris knows that's what he's got to have. Make that grab, see if he can make a guy miss. Pick up something positive there, obviously unable to make that catch.
Now 2nd and 10 following the incompletion. And it's picked up by the defense. Finley Mitchell comes away with the turnover, and Marvin Ridge has it deep in Pirates territory.
That is what they were looking for, right? Lockhart's looking over to the sideline, and that ball comes. He's not ready for it. Great job there. Scoop and the attempt to score, unable to do so. But great field position for the Mavericks.
They've got it at the 10. It is 1st and goal for Marvin Ridge. The shotgun snap came, and Lockhart was not ready for it.
No, he was still trying to figure out exactly what the play call was going to be, looking over to the sideline, giving signals.
Rediger hands to Lazewski, but there are whistles involved. Offside on the defense.
This right now, this Porter Ridge team, they got to find a way to just kind of settle down and get in sync here. The turnover there, and then the offsides penalty. You don't want to give extra opportunities to this Marvin Ridge offense.
Lazewski on 1st and goal from the 5. Stopped after a gain of a few, so now they'll have it at the 2.
And right now, if I'm Marvin Ridge, I'm in no rush, I'm in no hurry, right? Let's make sure we get the right call in here. We get number 3 involved and get him into the end zone, as they're going to go with a little bit of tempo here.
Rediger goes right back to Lazewski. He lunges and is across the goal line for the score. Touchdown, Marvin Ridge.
Just old-fashioned run it down your throat, right? Like nothing cute here. They did an excellent job. They got lined up quickly, and everybody gets a piece of somebody. Lazewski using his eyes to find daylight and get in the end zone.
10th rushing score of the season for Jeremiah Lazewski. Dawson Jones for the extra point. Jatavian Taylor got through there in a hurry. Might have been offside, but it's through the uprights anyway, and that makes it a 10-0 lead for the Mavericks.
Head coach Aubrey Carter of Marvin Ridge has to feel great right now, considering the fact that they don't have their starting quarterback. They turned the ball over once already, and all of a sudden you look up, they're up 10-0, drove it, kicked the field goal, and then they get it back here off a turnover, and they're able to punch it in. This is about as good a start as he could have hoped for.
Look at this one we got next week. I mean, look, this is still a game. You're going to want to stay tuned to this one. Next week, that might be a division on the line. West Charlotte at Huff. We'll be there. 7 p.m. kick. Streaming live here on BahakelSports.com.
That's the middle of my trifecta. I've got quite a weekend next weekend. I'm at Liberty on Thursday night.
Okay.
Then I'll be there Friday night. Then I'll be at Gardner-Webb on Saturday, college game.
Busiest man in show business, Reginald Walker here. This kickoff brought to you by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances, your outdoor kitchen and tailgate headquarters.
Yeah, somebody's got to call some football games, right?
Look, they're happening.
That's exactly right.
It might as well be people like you and me talking about them. Dawson Jones on for the kick. Another returnable ball on special teams, and this is Kennedy finding a seam at the sideline, and he can't stay in bounds.
And this is what they needed. I mean, this right here is exactly what Porter Ridge needed. They needed some good field position. They needed something to create a little bit of momentum, something to give them a little bit of a shot in the arm, and they get it in the way of special teams, which is a factor in what they do. We talked about it. The 5 block punts already this year. You get the big return there. Special teams, an important factor for this Pirates football team and Coach Michael Hurts.
Around about a 40-yard return for Danny Kennedy, so Pirates beginning this possession near midfield. 1st and 10 from their own 45. Lockhart will look to rectify the botched snap There's a flag out. Lockhart airs it out over everybody. Didn't have a receiver anywhere near that.
This is going to be an illegal shift. They never got set at the receiver position. Lockhart went too fast. One of the receivers was trying to make sure with the official that he was signaled off the line of scrimmage. It's going to be an illegal shift.
Illegal shift. Porter Ridge.
It is, in fact, the call.
Replay first down.
Yeah, Rami Sahir never even ran a route there. He was trying to figure out with the official if he was lined up properly, and they snapped the football while he was still moving. So that's going to be the illegal shift.
That penalty, the illegal shift.
And it looks like the penalty has been declined. So instead of replaying first down, they'll just call it incomplete. And it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, take the down away from an offense that likes to run the football.
Now on second. Up the middle, Samad Peoples dragging a couple of guys with him right to midfield. It's a gain of 5, and now it is 3rd down and 5 to go for the Pirates.
Samad Peoples on the carry. Conte Youngho and Nate Rawls in on the tackle.
Porter Ridge 1 for 4 on 3rd downs so far. But they've all been, except for the first 3rd and long, they've all been manageable. 6 to go, 2 to go, 8 to go, now 5.
10 on the play clock, so plenty of time there.
Deep drop back for Lockhart, and he overthrows Peoples on the screen. Incomplete, and it's 4th and 5.
Yeah, they tried to go middle screen there, and I think in that situation, as you see the penetration, the back's got to slide to the left or to the right there, or the quarterback's got to move left to right and pull that pass rush away.
Christian Bridgewell on the punt. Jake Schumacher back to return.
Porter Ridge to punt it away. Schumacher, the return man for Marvin Ridge. High punt near the sideline. Takes a Marvin Ridge bounce or two and will be downed inside the 20-yard line by Harris.
The punt is down at the 18-yard line.
So it'll be Marvin Ridge football when we return. 10-0 the count in favor of the Mavericks on our Ten to nothing Marvin Ridge here at our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Just over 8 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Braden Rediger out of the shotgun formation. Gives Jeremiah Lazewski, cuts up the middle and coughed it up. Did Porter Ridge get this? They did! They recover the fumble, their second one picked up on the evening.
Wow.
Marvin Ridge players pleading that Lazewski was already down.
And he's frustrated about it, obviously, himself. I didn't see a big hit or anything. Just kind of lost the football. You see it again here. That ball looks like it's out. And you could see the fist pound of the ground by Lazewski right away. He's frustrated that he put that one on the ground.
Credit Sawyer Ducey of the Pirates with the forced fumble. Harrison Johnson scooped it up. And so now Porter Ridge has flipped the field in a hurry. Lockhart back out to lead the offense with Samad Peoples joining him in the backfield. Lockhart one step back, shoots it on a quick slant, and it's reeled in by Ben Parsuski.
A little off coverage, just go and sit down right in front of the quarterback, right over the middle of the field. Easy pitch and catch there. Positive yards. Now all of a sudden you're at second and very short.
So 2nd and 2 here. It's at the 15. Lockhart goes deep. Corner of the end zone. Overthrown. And incomplete the call. Palms toward the sky for Rashawn Elmore. He wants a flag. And there is one. I don't know that this is the call that he wants, but
no, I think this is actually going to be on the offense. I think this is an illegal shift. That flag came out right at the snap of the ball.
Another illegal shift.
And look, I don't mean to. I do everything I can not to blame the kids here. Some of this is on Lockhart. He's got to slow down with his cadence and make sure all of his guys are lined up. And now on the flip side of that, the receivers and backs, they need to get lined up quicker so that he can set this offense. So this offense has to find a way to do a better job of dealing with those types of situations.
Now 2nd and 7 from their own 20, or from Marvin Ridge's 20, rather. This will go for a short gain. Peoples on the carry. Makes it 3rd and 6.
This goes back to those conversations that coaches have with their players where they always say sprint in and out of the huddle. This is an example when you get some of these illegal shifts because people aren't getting lined up quick enough.
On 3rd and 6, Lockhart look to the sideline, now changing up some plays.
Everybody going to the wristband there. They can just use numbers there, which helps with those wristbands.
Kennedy, the motion man. He receives the pitch, gets some nice blocking, throws a stiff arm, but is brought down. Cole Seawright on the tackle short of the first down marker.
You got to give credit to Marvin Ridge defensively. Watch them string this thing out. Everybody doing a pretty good job playing that alley and not allowing him to fully turn up the field to set up this now fourth down situation after not allowing them to pick up much there. I should say 3rd down here because of the illegal shift penalty.
I do believe it is 4th and 3 to gain for Porter Ridge. They direct snap it. Jatavian Taylor's first carry of the night, and he got enough.
He did. Great job by Taylor there, and you're right, it was 4th down. My mistake there. They put an extra offensive lineman in there in the backfield in front of Taylor, and they just basically play 11-on-11 football with an extra blocker to really push that pile and move the chains.
I think what got you caught up, Marvin Ridge declined the penalty again, because again, they're taking the down every time here.
It's the same play right there. They went right back to the same play. They see something with this formation and this play call that they like with Taylor keeping the football, and so they run it again right away. And I think they're going to go right back to it.
Yeah, Taylor gets it to the 5. They need 3 for the first, and whistles a flag. Comes out at the sideline. Signal looks like it's going to be on the defense.
I didn't see anybody jump, so I guess they're saying they lined up in the neutral zone.
Well, no official signal yet. All right, Now everybody's on the same page. It is, in fact, against the defense. And this will go half the distance.
Encroachment, the penalty on Marvin Ridge. 5-yard penalty, second down and 1.
From the 3-yard line. Here's Taylor again. Finds a hole on the left, and it's stopped up quickly. Wow, good response by Marvin Ridge. Now, they needed 1 for the first down, so they would get a whole new set of downs there, Reggie. They did not get it. It is 3rd and inches.
I think you run the same thing again, but the one thing about it at this point, you've got to just get north and south a little bit quicker. Taylor, no dancing back there.
He runs a straight line up the middle, and he gets over the goal line for the rushing score. Touchdown, Porter Ridge.
And you see this, Darren, right away. He goes right away. He doesn't wait. There's no dancing. He goes right away north and south and just says, I'm going to drive my legs and push my way into the end zone. Great physical run there by Taylor in this offensive line. And now Porter Ridge is on the board.
First score of the night for Porter Ridge. They've had their opportunities, 4:18 until the half. Ryan Latimer on for the extra point. It is up and good. That makes it just a 3-point deficit for the Pirates.
I'll tell you what, when we found out that Evan Metters wasn't going to play, let's take it back. When Coach Aubrey Carter figured out that Evan Metters was not going to be available tonight, you had to wonder what his mindset was. And it's real simple. If you would have told him 4:18 to go in the second quarter, you're up 10-7, Rediger's going to be playing pretty well, throwing the football around, and your defense is going to be playing the way that it has, he'll tell you, I'll take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. Especially given, look, I think we laid it out appropriately. This Porter Ridge defense, look, Lockhart has had a nice season. Peoples, Kennedy, Taylor, they've had a nice season offensively. But these Pirates have been winning because of their defense and their special teams. Another kickoff brought to you by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances. So I think with that being considered, and Aubrey Carter knows that.
Absolutely.
That being the case, you have given up the 2 fumbles. Otherwise, you have matched them defensively. Now a squib kick, scooped up by Schumacher. He finds a hole in the middle. Hard tackle is brought down just past the 40-yard line. Nice return, nice tackle by Sawyer Ducey.
These are 2 coaches that have talked to us a lot about the importance of special teams, and they've both gotten a really big return that was really close to going to the house. Special teams is a factor and an important part for both of these coaches. They emphasize it, they work on it more than I think most coaches otherwise in practice, and you're seeing examples of that tonight.
30-yard return for Schumacher. Nice setup for Marvin Ridge here. They've got 4 minutes and change to work with. They will get the kickoff to open up the third quarter. So a chance to really assert themselves in what I believe, Reggie, you refer to as the Belichick minutes, the last 4 and the first 4.
That's exactly right. That middle third.
And that's on the defense, so 1st and 5 now for Marvin Ridge. Rediger receives the snap. It's a handoff. This time Luke Wakefield gets the carry. He's dropped a few yards shy of the line of scrimmage. We saw Wakefield a lot in that loss at Lake Norman for Marvin Ridge when Lazewski was knocked out toward close to the end of the first half. But that's just his 16th carry of the season.
As much as Lazewski gets the football, you got to spell him in some spots.
Rediger, play fake, goes to Seawright on a screen, and he's pummeled at the line of scrimmage. Wow, got back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and 7. Wow.
No gain, 3rd down.
See it again here. Just good job defensively making that play. By the way, because we have a great staff here, we just found out Monroe is leading Forest Hills 13-0. Another one of those key games here in Union County as well.
3rd and 6 coming up, and a timeout called by the defensive side. So Pirates want to get right before this big 3rd down opportunity for Marvin Ridge.
And this is a key moment in this game. They need to make sure that they're on the same page and they can get a stop here and get a chance to get the football back late. Again, we're late in the second quarter. See if we can't find a way to get it back and get some points on the board going into halftime.
This is not a situation Marvin Ridge has found themselves in as often, nearly as often, as Porter Ridge tonight. This will be just the 4th attempt at a 3rd down conversion this evening for the Mavericks. They're 1 for 3 so far. So a quick break to reset. And now Rediger out of the shotgun, fakes the give to Wakefield. It's a pitch on the end around. Mark Arthur loses a tackler. Out of bounds inside the 30. 1st down and then some for the Mavericks.
Hey, Darren, you want to know how to slow down a fast defense that's flowing and seeing it and playing really well? Give them some misdirection, because if they lose sight of it and they over-pursue one way and you go back the other way, there's an opportunity for a big play. That's the example right there.
The spot exactly at the 30-yard line. Wakefield receives the handoff just to the left of center and manages a yard or 2 here. We'll see what the spot indicates. A 2-yard gain it is. 2nd and 8 on the way.
Gain of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8.
Rediger gives again. Wakefield stopped dead in his tracks.
This defense, once again, really nice job. They win the line of scrimmage. See, nobody's getting pushed down the field, and they get to play right at the line of scrimmage to minimize the game.
The big senior Christian Gaddy, 6'5", 250 in on the tackle. Got some help on the backside from Harrison Johnson. And now a big 3rd down for Marvin Ridge, and in comes Jeremiah Lazewski. Back in for Wakefield.
You got to have this guy in the game. Big 3rd down here. Late in the second quarter, you want this drive to end with points.
Wheel route, got him. Here's Lazewski. It's floated up and bobbled. Just a hair behind him. Good coverage by Harris.
Yeah, that's the right call, and it's a good read by Rediger. But what he's got to do, this football right here, it's open. You can see the top. You got to throw that ball. Let him go chasing. Don't let him have to wait for that football. You throw that toward the back pylon. You let him go chase that down. That one right there, unfortunately, don't like to do this, but that one's on the quarterback.
They'll send out Dawson Jones for another field goal attempt. This one a bit longer than his first. This will be a 44-yarder. Hold down. Does it have the distance? Not quite. The field goal attempt, no good, and Marvin Ridge milks about 3 minutes off the clock with that drive, Reggie, but comes up with no points.
Yeah, and Jones doesn't look right coming off the field there. You saw him to the right of your screen. He doesn't look like he's physically right as he makes his way to the sideline. You wonder if that had any impact on the kick. We know he's got the leg. We saw him even in pregame warmups hitting the balls from much deeper than that. He's not right there.
Something to note, too, Reggie, with that in mind, and again, this is pure speculation, his last 2 kickoffs have been returnable, not to the end zone where he typically is with those. Lockhart rolls to his left and overthrows his man. Was looking for Taylor.
Yeah, just got that one up a little bit. That's a tough throw. We talk about this all the time, you and I, Darren. A right-handed quarterback moving left, throwing that football, it's very difficult to do. The guy on the other side who's actually not playing tonight, Evan Metters, I think he's one of the best in the area at doing that. One of the best I've seen in the last couple of years here in the Charlotte area in high school football in terms of moving to his left, or moving, period, and throwing the football. An example right there with Lockhart of how difficult those kinds of throws can be.
2nd and 10 following the incompletion. Lockhart on the play fake, running for his life, away from Manny Lewis. Gets a pass away. There's Jatavian Taylor, forcing his way forward for a first down.
Pass complete to Jatavian Taylor. Mark Arthur.
And a flag out.
There is a flag on the play.
Yeah,
So this might be coming back.
It is. They were trying to set up a screen to the middle or the left. And when he started to scramble right, I thought to myself, there's the ineligible man downfield. When he started scrambling to his right, the first thing I thought to myself was, where are the linemen? Because if he throws this ball beyond the line of scrimmage, those linemen are in trouble because it was a screen. So that's another one of those things. When you get in that situation and the screen isn't there, you got to take off and run because those linemen have drifted down the field.
So now with the penalty, it backs it up 5 yards, 2nd and 15. Lockhart again on the play fake. Floats it up for the screen. This time Peoples in the congestion there, comes down with it.
Yeah, and Peoples has got to give him more room to get that ball completed as well. Defensive lineman right there in the play. That's a really good job by this defense shutting down the screen game.
Goes for a loss of 1. So now 3rd and 16 and a timeout called by Marvin Ridge, the defense.
Yeah, this is a good timeout by Aubrey Carter. He's trying to basically put them in a situation where they're going to have to at least punt the football back to him. And his mindset is we've got them backed up enough. Maybe they shank a punt. Maybe they mishandle a snap, something like that. But we get an opportunity right before the half. We saw that last week in our game, Darren. Coach Sam Griner and West Charlotte, they forced West Meck to have to punt the football late in the second quarter. Bad snap. All of a sudden you get a safety. Everything. Actually, they ended up getting a touchdown on the play.
Yeah.
And it was all kinds of chaos. And that was really, in my opinion, really what took West Meck out of that football game. So another one of these scenarios, situational football, Aubrey Carter trying to be a master of it right now.
It's final timeout of the first half for Marvin Ridge. As now Porter Ridge on 3rd and very long. Came out from the huddle. They go back in. And now the play clock going. They're not even lined up, Reggie. It's under 15 seconds. And now Porter Ridge calls a timeout. Yeah, they were discombobulated coming out of the timeout taken by the Mavericks, to say the least.
Yeah, you wonder if it was a situation of maybe they weren't clear on what they wanted to do here in terms of whether the clock was moving or not out of the timeout, but it was a called timeout, so the clock would not restart until the ball was snapped anyway. So just a little bit of disarray here, but I think more importantly, they want to make sure that they are running and calling exactly what they want here on this 3rd and long situation. How about this crowd?
Yeah, just in front of us, actually, our vantage point, the student section.
I believe they call it Orange Crush. I once drank that as a kid. It was a good orange drink. It was soda. Or pop in some parts of the country. Or where I'm from, it was just orange drink.
Orange drink.
Yeah,
good.
I mean, in Memphis, everything is drink. It's just what color is it?
Lockhart hands off to Kennedy in this situation on 3rd and long. He's wrapped up after a short gain, so this will be 4th and long.
And Marvin Ridge called another timeout here.
Yeah, my count must have been off. They must have had one more.
Timeout, Marvin Ridge.
So now they are down to their final. Or that was their final, and they have burned it.
And it's the right way to use it because now it's 4th down and they are forced to punt the football. The idea there for Porter Ridge, I think that's what they were maybe trying to figure out before. Could we wind enough time off the clock to not have to punt this football back? That timeout proves that they don't.
You see number 4 in blue there, Schumacher. The deep man back to the huddle for now, obviously, but he'll be back to return for Marvin Ridge.
He's just asking simply, where's my blocking going so I can work off of those guys and see if I can either make a house call or give us a chance to get the field goal kicker out here to end the half.
Well, Schumacher's had a couple of nice returns toward the end of this second half, so he's got to be feeling pretty good, pretty confident in his role as a returner. If you're Porter Ridge here, Reggie, do you even consider not giving him something to return, even if it sacrifices a little bit of field position because of the clock?
You've got to be careful how much you sacrifice because you don't want to put them in field goal range. As it were, with a good punt, they're likely going to get this ball in plus territory.
Christian Bridewell is the punter for the Pirates. It's a clean snap. He gets a good punt off. Close enough to the sideline to box out Schumacher. And it is down at the Marvin Ridge 47. So I think all things considered, that's a really nice job by Porter Ridge.
They actually, the coaching staff not happy there. They wanted to make sure the officials blew that ball dead instead of touching it. There was still a little bit of movement left in that football. Could have gotten in 2 or 3 more seconds off the clock.
So now 20 seconds on the clock for the Mavericks to work with. They lead it by 3 as we near halftime. Braden Rediger back to pass toward the sideline, left it short, was looking for Jackson Gibbs.
Pass incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
And this is right, the opportunity to try to put something on the board, but you've got to keep an eye on this clock situation right now. About 17 seconds left.
Mark Arthur, receiver, bottom of your screen. He's got a lot of room to work with. That's where Rediger rolls, motioning, and throws it out of bounds for the incompletion to make it 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a double move to Arthur there, and he couldn't create that separation. Rediger doing a good job understanding there's nothing there. Get rid of it out of bounds. Live to fight another day.
Third and 10 for Marvin Ridge. They're 2 for 5 so far on thirds in this first half.
And this might be just run the ball and get this clock over with. Yep.
Schumacher receives it on the end around. He can get to the edge, shoved out of bounds by Taylor. And he got enough for the first. That's an 11-yard gain to move the chains.
That's a finish line. Marvin Ridge.
Another Acosta Heating, Cooling, and Electrical first down. And it stops the clock at 4 seconds remaining in the second half, or the second quarter, rather.
Yeah, and he took out one of his coaches in the process. Marcus Douglas, one of the coaches of this Marvin Ridge football team, former NFL player. Marcus, really good guy. We had a chance to chat with him a little bit before the game. But the big fella got taken out right there.
Looks to be okay. He's up on his feet on the sideline. Schumacher, the motion man. Rediger, Gibbs. And and whistles to stop the play as the clock hits 0 in the second quarter. That ends the first half with the score in favor of the home team. Marvin Ridge leading 10-7 over Porter Ridge at halftime on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Halftime on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Marvin Ridge at home and leading Porter Ridge by the score of 10-7 with 1 half to go. Let's go to John Trish of Bahakel Sports. He's got a story on a big-time volleyball prospect out of our area.
The entire sport is bracing for impact. Here comes Hunter.
The adrenaline just rushes in, and, nothing's stopping me in that moment.
One of the most coveted recruits in North Carolina history is a junior at Cox Mill High School.
Strive for greatness any way I can. So, if opportunities are given to me, I'm going to jump head first at them.
For the nation's number 2 ranked opposite hitter, being light on her feet with immaculate rhythm was the plan since age 2. But as a competitive dancer,
she would dance in front of thousands of people, and it goes to show how hard she really works, and she just goes for what she wants.
The meteoric rise in mega talent earned Hunter a scholarship to Nebraska. The 5-time national champion, rapidly followed culture-setting program has transformed the standard for women's athletics.
I have the opportunity to be a part of this amazing program with these amazing people, and sometimes, it never really hits you until you're there.
Ryan was there when Nebraska sold out Memorial Stadium for a match in August. 92,000 people broke the world record for attendance at a women's sporting event. Her coach and sister so proud.
It was heartwarming for me. I cried at least 3 times just to see the support.
Before she immerses in the sea of red, Ryan sees championship purpose with her people.
She just pushes you to do better. She just such an inspiring figure, not even as a teammate, but as a friend. She just has that presence on the court all the time.
She may only be 16 years old and serious about volleyball for 3 years. But make no mistake, Hunter has a license to kill.
Hope John got out of the way. It was a pretty impactful spike most of the time. Good stuff from our very own John Trish. 10-7 halftime score. Marvin Ridge on top of Porter Ridge. Stay with us. It's halftime at our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Marvin Ridge up 10-7 on Porter Ridge. The Marvin Ridge High School Marching Band is on the field, so let's have a listen. Well, let's go to a package with our very own John Trish of Bahakel Sports on one of the more prime-time tight end recruits out of our area.
If you think he's just another talented tight end, you don't know Jack.
You know, I try to be different, try to, work as hard as I can each and every day, be great at something, and just be a good person in the process.
Don't mind the everyman mantra. Jack Larson makes the difficult catch look routine, the improbable look remarkable, the impossible look, well, as if he's connected to the guy with higher powers.
It was absolutely ridiculous. Just the plays that he makes, you just know that kid. You know that kid's going to Notre Dame. You can just tell.
Touchdown Jesus, meet Jack, a young man fit to fight with the Irish.
Super special place. Obviously, I've been in Catholic school my whole life, so faith's a big aspect and a big, component of my life. And that's very special, but also, kind of the Irish tradition to it is pretty special too. My mom's side of the family is all Irish. My grandma's a Fitzpatrick.
Coach Matthew Riley grew up with Luke Kuechly, His high school teammate was hyper-driven and ultra-focused and cut from the same rare competitive cloth as Larson.
Treats everyone like it's the most important conversation he's having. So there's that similarity. The work ethic especially, just being the hardest working guy on the field, in the weight room, wherever he is. That's the kind of thing that I think is going to keep paying off.
Jack Larson is one of the best tight ends in America, and maybe the next Notre Dame great. Catch him this season while you still can. You know he'll catch everything else.
Good stuff, John. Still halftime here at our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. 10-7, Marvin Ridge on top of Porter Ridge will step aside, and the second half will get going here shortly. All right, let's try this again. Here is the Marvin Ridge High School Marching Band. Still halftime here at the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. 10-7 the lead in favor of Marvin Ridge.
based on the number of teams that tie and the number of teams that finish higher.
It remains halftime here at Marvin Ridge in Waxhaw, North Carolina. The home team, the Mavericks, leading 10-7 over the Pirates of Porter Ridge. Let's hear from the Bahakel Sports crew about the historic season underway for the West Charlotte Lions.
The Charlotte Lions were on a mission over the summer to prove they were the kings of the jungle. Undefeated after a month of football, they're certainly on the right track, and they gave their opponents fair warning.
We was trying to let everybody know, and everybody want to jump ship. West Charlotte did like, nah, like we really want people to like stay where they was at before the season started, and like, you know what I'm saying, we just gonna keep this thing rolling.
But they're not satisfied. Even after early routes of Palisades and Monroe, they felt they had left points off the board.
Like, we can't get comfortable right now. Like, yeah, we 4-0. We know we might be ranked number 2, but we're not even worried about that.
In the month of September, they caught their stride, coming out strong in multiple standout games. First, a last-second victory over longtime rivals, the Independence Patriots, and then a goal line stop on the road to take down the heavyweight high school in Mallard Creek for the first time since Sam Griner took over.
Man, that drive right there, it was like a movie for real, you know? Like, we just was going by our motto, man the throne, got through the tough times, and that's really all our team is about, for real.
You got to find ways to win. You know, winners find a way, and I feel like this team has a whole group of winners. And if they're freshmen, sophomores, or seniors, the whole key is they're resilient. They understand what this means to them this season.
So go on and doubt Dub C and the Ford boys all you want. They dare you to be surprised come December.
You know, when the dust settles, are they a believer or not? The whole key is the guys that we fight with, the coaches we play with, the administration we have at West Charlotte, they believe. The people that matter, the ones that are close to us, believe, and that's the only support we need.
Reporting in Charlotte, Jack Taylor, Bahakel Sports.
Taylor Lockey and assistant coaches Lisa Sluter and Brian Wilson. They are the 2022 SCC Conference champions. The 2022 NCHS
The pride of the West Side, the Lions of West Charlotte, remain undefeated, playing Hopewell tonight, but we will see them right here on BahakelSports.com next week, a week from tonight. Big one, as it is West Charlotte at Huff. Be sure to tune in, a 7 p.m. kick, a week from tonight on BahakelSports.com. Halftime continues. I'll bring Reggie Walker back in. We'll look at some highlights from the first half prior to the start of the third quarter.
They were in the Elite 8 regional semifinals in the NCHS.
Halftime, it's our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. Marvin Ridge 10, Porter Ridge 7 with Reggie Walker and Darren Vaught. We're glad you're here. Well, Reg, let's talk about that first half. I mean, we expected this one to be a bit of a slugfest. Both of these teams really like to utilize the run. Defenses have each come up big.
Yeah, creating turnovers and creating havoc is what both of these defenses like to do, especially this bunch from Porter Ridge. We've talked about what they've done, 9 interceptions this year, the fumble recoveries. This was their 6th in this game. And then on the other side, Marvin Ridge just did an excellent job winning the line of scrimmage, and they create the turnover here, which really led to their touchdown drive. A big drive for them. Short drive, but a big opportunity to get 7 here with Lazewski, again, playing without Evan Metters at that quarterback position. You don't quite have the rhythm and timing to your offense that you're used to.
Well, you mentioned it. Evan Metters out as the typical starting quarterback for Marvin Ridge. With that in mind, Braden Rediger, what have been your impressions of the job that he's done for the Mavericks?
I think he's done a really nice job. Obviously doing a good job not turning the football over, making some plays with his arm, and then having the poise when it's not there to just throw the football away and not turn it over. And Porter Ridge continued to fight in this first half. They get that touchdown there to get this one to 10-7, and an opportunity really for Marvin Ridge late in the half to maybe extend that lead, but unable to get down the field and put points on the board.
And that Porter Ridge score was run in by Jatavian Taylor. He's the man who picked up the fumble recovery early on. They didn't get points out of that, but we talked with Michael Hertz, their head coach, who coaches the linebackers, Taylor included, about Jatavian's impact on this team in every facet. We've talked earlier, they've got 5 blocked punts on the season. He has 2 of them. He is someone they utilize in the run game. He gets a lot of tackles, turns it over. They're basically, when they're not on defense, they're finding situations where they can get him the football.
He is him for this football team. It's really that simple.
Third quarter getting set to get underway here in just a bit at Marvin Ridge High. The Mavericks leading 10-7 over Porter Ridge. And we will step aside one final time. They're going to have to clear some people, some honorees from other sports down on the field. Yeah, some objects. Nice backdrop there here at Marvin Ridge. 10-7, Mavericks lead. Third quarter gets started when we return. 3-point lead for the home squad. Marvin Ridge over Porter Ridge at our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week at halftime. The spectacle continues down on field level, so we are waiting for things to get cleared there. Some honorees from other sports as part of the halftime festivities. But they've got under a minute left on the clock. While we've got you, 11 p.m., BahakelSports.com is the place to stream the Blitz, all the highlights, all the scores, all the relevant information in the comings and goings in the high school football community in your area. That's tonight on Bahakel Sports at 11. 3 JTs and a Kelly. It sounds like a bad TV Land sitcom, but that's the crew over at Bahakel Sports.
No, but that's a good crew. I like that crew. 3 JTs and a KB, as you mentioned. I'm here for it. I actually might be there for it tonight. Well, I'll be here, but there.
Well, here, but there.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. We will do it.
Maybe. We
through the magic of television.
Well, we may be in the fourth quarter.
Well, with that in mind, Reggie Walker, I'm Darren Vaught. Happy to have you with us as we, I think, are about to start the second half of play. In a close game, what's been a great game so far, that is an elongated period for halftime. I think most weeks these teams are not accustomed to sitting that long and waiting that long to resume play. Does that change things, 15 minutes to 30 minutes?
Yeah, it impacts you, right? You have to make sure the kids did a good job of warming back up, right? Because, the normal 15 minutes or so, there's a chance you kind of cool down a little bit, but 30 minutes, that's double the amount of time. So you hope that everybody's warmed back up, stretched out well enough, and then any momentum, obviously, at the end of that half, probably squeezed out a little bit also. So from a player safety standpoint, I think that's the main thing. And then on the back end of that, where's the momentum at? Where's the focus? And what those adjustments and angst from those players might become.
The upcoming kickoff brought to you by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances, your outdoor kitchen and tailgate headquarters. With that in mind, this was a sort of a drudging pace throughout the first half. A bit lethargic, honestly, would be a word to describe it. To whom do you assign the momentum going into the locker room and entering the second half?
Let me back you. It was just two blunt force objects banging against each other.
Sure.
With the way they were running the football, both teams trying to win the line of scrimmage. I think right now, if you're Marvin Ridge, you've got to feel really good with a 3-point lead without your starting quarterback. And if you're Porter Ridge, you've got to feel really good understanding that your offense hasn't gotten untracked yet, and you expect those guys to play better in the second half.
Christian Bridewell, the kicker for Porter Ridge, goes to an up man for Marvin Ridge. It's returned by Hill Despard. That's a piece of their offense we haven't seen utilized so far tonight.
Right, the tight end position has not truly gotten involved in this passing game yet for Marvin Ridge.
So now good starting field position for the Mavericks. They begin at their own 33. While up 3, Braden Rediger is the quarterback tonight in place of the injured Evan Metters. Jeremiah Lazuski in motion, receives it in the flats, cuts inside of a defender, brought down after a gain of a handful.
I like that. That's basically a long handoff, but what that does is it gets this defense thinking and understanding they're going to have to move side to side and really run here in this second half.
There's a pitch Lazuski's way. Streaks through the middle. He'll gain about 10. It's plenty for the first down. Marvin Ridge moves the sticks. It's another Acosta Heating, Cooling, and Electrical first down. And they'll go to Lazuski again. A bounce and a spin, a twirl rather, off of the line of scrimmage. And he gains about a yard there.
And right now, this offense, this is an important drive, right? And if you can go down and get a touchdown here and extend this lead, get it to 2 possessions, now you start to feel really good because this is a Porter Ridge offense that's not designed to come from behind.
Rediger out of the shotgun. It's been 3 consecutive touches for Lazuski. He's flushed out to his right, and it's broken up. Nice defensive play there by Jatavian Taylor on the coverage of Manny Lewis.
Yeah, and I think they're going to get a hold right here. So it'll be interesting to see if Porter Ridge declines this to set up a 3rd down.
Yeah, that does seem to be what the indication is. No official word yet. With the flag put away, here's the call. And it is, in fact, a holding.
And Porter Ridge accepting the penalty to play the field position game.
So they'll back it up 10 yards. 2nd and 20 for Marvin Ridge. I think for either side, that's been the play.
Get them behind the chains on defense. That's where you want them to be.
Rediger off of the play action, hits Schumacher right at midfield. He tiptoes to stay in and then steps out just inside of plus territory.
That's just a 3-level route. They ran 3 receivers, 1 deep, 1 intermediate, 1 short. Schumacher was the intermediate receiver. He gets big yardage to set up a 3rd and medium.
Gain of 16. It's now 3rd and 4. Here's a pitch. Lazuski is across for the 1st down, and then some, dragging Pirates with him.
Yeah, right now this tempo proving to be a factor, and then getting on the edges really helping this offense to move the chains.
It has been a healthy dose of Jeremiah Lazuski to start the 2nd half for the Mavericks, and here he is again. Hesitation, finds a hole, and he tumbles through the middle of the defense. Porter Ridge thinks they've got it, though.
Yeah, they ripped that football out of his hands.
Well, Lazuski flipped forward, and he did not have the football, so down in the scrum it was picked up and recovered by Harrison Johnson.
Yeah, and Lazuski didn't argue that one too much, so that's his 2nd one tonight.
That's the 3rd he's coughed up, 2nd that Porter Ridge has recovered.
That's right.
The Pirates relentless on defense. They like to turn it over. They've been successful in that regard so far tonight. A juke, Samad Peoples to the outside. Against Rawls, a stiff arm spins away from him, and he's down at the 30.
Peoples, this is a great job. Nice step through there, little quick jump cut, and then it's speed when he gets to the edge. Good angle there by Rawls to keep him from getting to the end zone.
35 yards on the run for Samad Peoples, easily the longest play from scrimmage for the Pirates tonight.
It's a huge play. Flips the field. This offense now with more confidence. The offensive line's going to feel better. All of a sudden, they're trying to get old Uncle Mo on their side.
It's at the 29, a play fake. Pass for Danny Kennedy just out in front of him, and hits the ground incomplete. Will make it 2nd and 10.
And both teams now doing similar things in terms of trying to use the width of the football field to really stretch these defenses out and then see if they can come back and run up inside and create big plays there like we saw with Peoples. That run started inside, and then he was able to get outside and create a big play.
Low snap. Lockhart off of the play fake hits Kennedy as he goes out of bounds, chased by Gibbs and Arthur. No gain, and it will be 3rd and 10. Porter Ridge just 2 of 8 converting 3rd downs in the 1st half.
Yeah, a lot of those were 3rd and longer situations instead of where they want to be. If they're going to face 3rd downs, they want them to be obviously 3rd and 3 or better.
Actually, a slight loss on that play, so this is 3rd and a bit longer than 10. A pitch back to Kennedy on the option. Shakes a tackle, gets inside the 25. Not quite enough for the first. There's a flag down as well. But a great effort by Kennedy. And he looks to be a little shaken up as he gets up from the ground.
does. See him right there. You see the officials conversing to figure out what this call is.
And it's a hold against Porter Ridge, so that'll back it up, and they'll redo third down.
10 yards from the spot of foul. Replay third down.
That is a penalty that's going to back up Porter Ridge.
Yeah, and it was right there near the play at about the 25-yard line. Good call by the officials. Get that holding call, and now this is a very long third down.
After the penalty, third down and 18.
Third and 18 now. Much different situation. Lockhart will drop back to pass. Nowhere to go. He's smothered in the backfield at some point, Reggie. He just had to duck his head and accept defeat.
Yeah, he tried to pat the ball a couple of times. Watch it here. Right here he's looking there. Nope. Second time, nope. There is no third time, and that's what the clock has to kind of go off in his head. You know what? After the second time I'm trying to set up and nothing's there, I got to throw this football away. Unable to do it, and now they're going to have to punt.
Lockhart, a slight limp on his way back to the sideline. Charles Lipcomb among the Mavericks in on the sack to force third and long. Maybe a chance for Jake Schumacher to get a return in. Christian Bridewell's punt. Pulled in. Schumacher can't get by Taylor. Jatavian Taylor pins Marvin Ridge inside of their own 10-yard line with the help of his punter Bridewell. 10-7 Marvin Ridge, but the Mavericks with the football. 7:27 to play in the third quarter.
It's Bill at NASathletics.com.
7.5 left in the third quarter. Marvin Ridge up 3 and with the football, but a good punt and great coverage by Jatavian Taylor of Porter Ridge has them starting at their own 10-yard line here. Rediger out of the shotgun, fakes the handoff to Wakefield, who's in at the back position, slings it over to Mark Arthur. He gets out of bounds after a gain of a few.
Right now, if you're Marvin Ridge, obviously you dealt with the turnover last time. Now you get the football back. I didn't love Schumacher catching that punt inside the 10-yard line. Backed his team up. That's kind of one of those golden rules. And now offensively, you got to just find a way to get some space behind it.
Christian Gaddy leads the defensive charge, stopping Rediger here.
Yeah, great job. They just strung this out. It was supposed to be an option look, a little bit of speed option. No chance there with the way this defense runs.
So now third down for Marvin Ridge. They've got 5 yards to gain. Rediger, plenty of time. Sidearms it toward Arthur, but it's deflected.
incomplete.
And the pass is broken up by Harrison Johnson.
Yeah, it's a great job by Johnson. Just baited Rediger there into making that throw, and he was sliding into his zone. Got up underneath that and nearly picked it off.
So 4th and 5. Dawson Jones back near the goal line to punt it away. Danny Kennedy to return for Porter Ridge. Jones just gets it off. Kennedy will let it go. And so now Porter Ridge with possession, trailing by 3. I mean, that's the type of game this has been, Reggie, right? It's razor-thin margins. And really, you're playing for inches at a time with this field position.
Absolutely. You kind of play the field position game, and you just kind of hope that the other team makes a mistake and you can capitalize in the moment. And if you're Marvin Ridge right now, you got to feel pretty good. You're still maintaining a lead after the turnovers you've had in this ballgame.
Kennedy, the motion man. Lockhart fakes the give on the option pitches. Danny Kennedy.
See ya.
Sideline. Nobody between he and the end zone. Touchdown, Porter Ridge. How about 58 yards for number 4?
Yeah, a little speed option here. Great job by Lockhart going all the way to the defender and now blocking on the edge, and it's a foot race, and you're not catching Danny Kennedy from behind. He goes house call on the road. That's all speed right there, Darren. There's nothing, that right there, besides Lockhart doing an excellent job getting all the way to the guy that had the quarterback there and then stepping back and making that pitch. That's textbook how you teach it. And then Kennedy down the sideline with nothing but speed. Good vision, great blocking downfield on the perimeter by his receivers to spring it.
Penalty committed on the extra point attempt. Porter Ridge out in front for the first time tonight. False start. We'll back up the PAT. Ryan Latimer will look to put it through to make it a 4-point lead for Porter Ridge. Well, Kennedy already owns the longest play from scrimmage for Porter Ridge this season, a 73-yard run earlier in the year. 58. Also a pretty good little scamper. Latimer, low-lying extra point attempt is through, and it's 14-10. Pirates with the lead on the road.
This run right here, you see the motion there. They take one with just the action to the right, and now it's just all foot race. You got to give credit to Rawls chasing. Not going to catch Kennedy from behind now.
Really well set up. I'm reminded, Reggie, that in the first half you commented on Jared Lockhart's tempo and his pace with just the way that he would go through his progressions and execute a play. There was a lot going on there, right? You got the motion man, you've got the fake give, and then you begin the option.
Absolutely.
And he waited until the last possible second to pitch that to Kennedy, and that was one of the keys.
And not only that, as he came forward, as you see what we thought would be his counterpart there, Evan Metters, what I thought he did really well there, he got all the way to the defender, and then he started to retreat and then made the pitch so as to bring that other defender, the pitch man, maybe to look at him and take his eyes away, and then he makes the pitch. As you see there, along with Schumacher, Lazewski is back there to return the kickoff. And by the way, Darren, I don't know if you noticed it earlier as we get ready for another Queen City audio, video, and appliance kickoff. What we saw earlier from Lazewski on the sideline, he had the sort of tape over his elbows so that he didn't scrape up his elbows. He took that off as well.
Lazewski will have it on the return, and he's ankle tackled. So just in different ways, because physically they are different players. But just in the same way that Porter Ridge is trying more and more to get Jatavian Taylor involved, this Mavericks team trying to insert Lazuski in some situations where he can get as many opportunities as possible to make a play.
Yeah, and you like that. That's smart coaching, in my opinion. You get, obviously, your best players to football. The other thing here is the way that Rediger's been playing quarterback. I think you got to give him some opportunities to make a couple of plays with his arm as well.
Fakes the handoff, rolling, finds his open man. Schumacher catches and is out of bounds past the 40-yard line. Near the first down marker, it'll be just enough for an Acosta Heating, Cooling, and Electrical first down.
Good job there. They move the pocket and give him a throw. It's easy to see everything in front of him. Nice throw, pick up the first down.
Oh, botched snap, and Rediger falls on it, is immediately down.
That's a good job by Rediger. Don't compound it. Just get on the football and line up again. It's not ideal, but sometimes those kinds of situations, when people try to pick the football up, it's an oblong football. It doesn't bounce normal. So when it starts bouncing around, it could really make the situation worse. Good job there. Just get on the football and line up for the next down.
Especially with the way this Porter Ridge defense pursues loose footballs and pursuing the quarterback there. Gaddy again. He has been a menace in the backfield.
Yeah, he really has. And part of this, obviously great job there by Gaddy keeping the pass rush there. But Rediger has got to understand he's got to get rid of that football a little bit sooner.
Now it's 3rd and long.
I think you got to be careful here. You might just run it and go ahead and punt the football. You don't want any major mistakes in your own end here.
They need 18 for the first. Rediger drops back. Airs it out. Mark Arthur turns down the sideline. Did he get enough?
He's close.
And he got it. Wow. 18 yards exactly to move the sticks.
Yeah, great job. He had off coverage, and he ran that off coverage as far as he could and then fought through the tackle there to pick up the first down.
You ask, you receive. Rediger making a play with his arm. Now here's Wakefield. Battered as he gets to the line of scrimmage. No gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Luke Wakefield on the carry. No gain. 2nd and 10.
I think Rediger really has acquitted himself well in this game. They're coming off the bye week. Obviously, he had to play last time they were out because of the injury to Metters, and so his confidence is up. And likely, his mindset is, I don't have to be a superhero. I just have to make the plays that are in front of me.
Batted away.
Pass incomplete. 3rd down.
So he tried to loft it over the line of scrimmage. Harrison Johnson, I believe, got a hand on it, or no, maybe that was Gaddy again. Gaddy.
Yeah, that's a great job by Gaddy. He realized he wasn't going to get there. Just stopped, got his hands up in the air, knocked that one away.
Makes it 3rd down again, 10 to gain for Marvin Ridge this time. Rediger to pass. Steps up in the pocket, slings it, and it's down incomplete. Isaiah Harris was all over it with some help from Sawyer Ducey.
Well, he's trying to get his streak back on.
Yeah, he had an interception in each of the Pirates' first 4 games.
Which they all won.
They won all of those. And then last time out, the loss at Monroe, their only loss on the season. His only game he's failed to reel in a pick. Punted away on 4th and 10. And Kennedy calls for the fair catch this time. Was past the 10-yard line.
Kennedy went to the Reginald Walker School of Returning Punts.
Yeah.
He put the heels on the 10, and he said, if I'm going backwards, I'm not catching it. And if it's coming to me, I'm going to fair catch it. And we're good. We're going to line up and go play offense.
So the Pirates offense back out. Starting at their own, well, they spotted it at the 12, so it looks like they gave Kennedy a yard for his wisdom on that play. Two backs with Lockhart. He hands off. They go to Kennedy again. Why not? After he busted one for 58 yards last time he carried it.
Danny Kennedy on the carry.
Well, now Porter Ridge has the lead, and they can really get into their offense, be a little bit more deliberate, run the football, and start to squeeze time off this clock and minimize the possessions down the stretch. It's only a one-possession game, obviously, so you can't get going too slow. But this is much more of how they like to play. They like to play from ahead, not from behind, obviously.
Same formation. It's Kennedy again. He bounces outside. Peoples with his lead block. Can't corral the defender. But it's another game. And now it is third and relatively short here for Porter Ridge.
And remember, this is a Porter Ridge team. The last time we saw them at Monroe, they had a 14-0 lead and ended up losing that football game. They're aware of that, and they know they've got to finish stronger.
That's one of the things head coach Michael Hertz talked to us about earlier today, actually, when we spoke with him, was the team keeping its intensity. Jatavian Taylor leisurely makes his way through the line of scrimmage. Not so leisurely. The farther downfield he goes, a stiff arm. He's out at the 20.
Are you kidding me? I mean, this run looked like 3 or 4 yards, first down, no big deal. And then all of a sudden, he's dancing one way, and then he cuts back the other way. The vision, the athleticism, that is an unbelievable run by Taylor.
I don't want to say that we didn't know he had that in him. But, look, this is a guy, I mean, this is one of the biggest, most physical linebackers in the area making step backs like that.
Absolutely.
It's just, you don't see that combination.
The athleticism is out of this world.
1st and 10 from the 18. Same play that went for 58. Goes for 18 this time. Another touchdown for Danny Kennedy and the Pirates.
Kennedy, look at this right here. He splits two guys, and then it's all speed, and then the quick cut there at the end to get in the end zone. But great job, great vision. Excellent job taking the time on the pitch, and then he splits those two guys going in. What a big-time run there by Kennedy.
2 touchdown runs in the third quarter for Porter Ridge, and suddenly, Reggie, this is a double-digit lead for the Pirates.
That speed option really taking control here in this third quarter.
Latimer's extra point is good, 21-10 in favor of Porter Ridge now.
This is a triple option-based offense. All of their principles are off the option. But Darren, you think about this football team, the 2 biggest plays they've had in this game, the last 2 touchdowns have been off of what? Those triple option look principles, because that alignment assignment football defensively is very difficult to deal with because you don't see it every day. It's not something that most teams run anymore. And so if your eyes get dirty for a half a second, you are in trouble. You have to line up, understand I've got dive, quarterback, or pitch, and I can't worry about anything else. The minute I think about something else in that situation and take my eyes off of my key for a half second, a millisecond, I'm beat. And that's exactly what's happened on those last 2 big runs for this Porter Ridge offense.
You see there Jeremiah Lazuski once again back to return the kickoff for Marvin Ridge. Another kickoff brought to you by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances. To open the second half, we saw Bridewell, the kicker for Porter Ridge, go to an up man. They tried that last time. It bounced to Lazuski.
And he's taken a very short approach to this kick as well. So that tells you they're not looking to kick it deep.
Despard again. The tight end pulls it in. Look at this. Still on his feet eventually. Form tackled near the midfield logo.
Great job here by Despard, just being difficult to get on the ground. Secure the football, great job there. Does everything right, gets nice yardage and good field position for his team.
Sawyer Ducey for Porter Ridge, meanwhile, another special teams tackle. You know, in the back of my mind, Reggie, started to question, okay, why doesn't he just play up and let Lazewski have that if they're going to air it out so much when they kick it short? That's a good return, starting from their own 48. Luke Wakefield. Nowhere to go, stuffed after a yard gain.
And this is a big drive, obviously, for Porter Ridge defensively. You get a stop here. This is essentially, right, it's still a two-possession game, 11 points. But, I mean, you're talking about a two-point conversion as well. To start, you know, you got to play solid defensively, see if maybe you can create another turnover if you're Porter Ridge. And if you're Marvin Ridge, you got plenty of time as long as you make sure this drive results in a touchdown on the board.
Not quite enough for the first down on the toss to Luke Wakefield, so 3rd and 1 here. It's a give. Wakefield, a glance off of a defender, and then gang tackled. Johnson and Taylor were both there for the Pirates.
Yeah, and I don't think he got that first down, obviously. And I think the conversation here is whether or not to go for it on 4th down. You're not going to get much in terms of field position back here. I think you have to go for it, and there's not enough time on the game clock to let it go to the 4th quarter and make the decision after the quarter change.
Closing in on the end of the 3rd quarter. Wakefield wrapped up and brought down in the backfield. Dejon Clark got through there instantly.
Yeah, Clark and then Harrison Johnson coming over the top of this thing was playing it inside out as well. Did a great job running that alley and blowing that play up along with the big fella up front.
From 3rd and short to a turnover on downs. Good one here at Marvin Ridge High School tonight. Join us a week from now here on BahakelSports.com. West Charlotte at Huff. That is expected to be a very, very good one as well. We don't miss with the Bahakel Sports Game of the Week.
Absolutely not. It's the kiss that don't miss.
1st and 10 now for Porter Ridge, trying to pile on. Lockhart, designed run, takes off with it immediately and will get about 4 yards on the carry.
Nice job there by Lockhart. Getting what you can. Don't take a big hit. Get out of bounds.
That'll be 2nd and 6. Man, the junior quarterback there has really come into his own. Again, he's had a nice season. I'm not saying anything to the contrary, but even tonight, he's just sort of settled in nicely. Now a handoff. And Kennedy gains about a yard as we close out the 3rd quarter. It'll be 3rd and 5 after we flip the field and begin the 4th. Here at our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. 11-point lead for Porter Ridge. Tonight's Bahakel Sports Game of the Week is brought to you by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances, your outdoor kitchen and tailgate headquarters, and by Acosta Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, the household name for quality and trust. Big third down for Porter Ridge. It's a handoff up the middle, and they get enough to move the chains. Samad Peoples gets in on the running action and picks up the first down.
And that's all it needs to be about right now is moving the chains and starting to take time off this clock and really putting more and more pressure on the Mavericks.
Another Acosta Heating, Cooling, and Electrical first down for the Pirates. Did not lead in the first half of action. Now ahead by 11. Peoples again. Right up the gut. Picks up a handful of yards, 4 or 5, depending on the spot. And it'll be 2nd and 6. Lockhart rolls. A couple of good lead blocks, but Rawls gets through there after the wrap-up by Seawright at the ankles.
That's a really good job by Lockhart, not panicking there, not overthinking that play. Just sticking with it, staying patient behind his guys, blocking on the outside for him. Gets a nice gain there to set up a 3rd and short.
Pirates need 2 for the first down. 2 for 3 converting 3rd downs so far in this second half.
And you notice they are moving very, very deliberately all of a sudden on offense. They may take a timeout here as this play clock is down inside of 5. Yeah.
Timeout, Porter Ridge. As the clock stops with exactly 10 minutes to play, they lead by 11.
Timeout, Porter Ridge.
Be sure to tune in 11 p.m. tonight and every Friday. The Bahakel Sports crew brings you The Blitz here on BahakelSports.com. Highlights, scores, news, and updates from the most important games, the biggest games in your area that occurred tonight. Again, that's The Blitz, 11 p.m. tonight and every Friday on Bahakel Sports. If you tune in, maybe, just maybe, Reggie Walker and I will make an appearance. They know.
Well,
I'm
only allowed to be there if you tell me to. You're the one that allows me to show up.
You act like I call the shots. I call the plays. I call the numbers, the names. Producer director Mike Moore here, among others. They call the shots. They call the shots. There's Jatavian Taylor on the direct snap. He gets through off tackle, spins away from another. Wow! JT with another running touchdown.
This right here is just wanting it and having the athleticism to back it up. Great job here understanding the situation, follows his blockers, and he sees a crease, and you're always responsible for one. Instead of one, he takes care of 2. He spins off of 1, stiff arms the second guy, and he's stepping over lines into the end zone.
Jatavian Taylor with a fumble recovery and now 2 rushing scores on the night for the Pirates. And I said it earlier, in a game in which they did not lead in the first half, they're up multiple scores here. Latimer's extra point kick is through to make it an 18-point Pirate lead.
And you have to give them a lot of credit, right? Remember the last time we saw this team, and I alluded to it earlier, they had a 14-point lead and didn't finish the game well. In this game, they didn't start it well, but they are finishing strong. They've got to obviously get through this 4th quarter. But Taylor right there, that's the result of this running game, pounding on this Marvin Ridge defense throughout the night. all of a sudden, all those body blows, they start to catch up with this Mavericks defense. And this has been really, really impressive by Lockhart as well, leading the charge of this offense, and then having the humility and understanding to win. We got to do the things that include getting Jatavian Taylor into the ball game, taking those snaps and running that, what do you call, I guess you call it the wild pirate for them, and getting into the end zone.
I pitched my name for it last time we saw them at Monroe, the RPO.
You did, yeah, you did. You also said something about walking the plank, and I don't know about that one.
Yeah. One thing is for sure, these Pirates, they are not walking the plank. They have responded. They might have gotten poked out onto the plank, but they turned around and brought out their swords. They put up a fight. Another kickoff brought to you by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances. This time returnable for Lazewski of Marvin Ridge, and he's brought down shy of the 35.
And see, now this is exactly, if you're head coach Michael Hertz of Porter Ridge, this is exactly what you wanted to happen to Braden Rediger.
First and 10.
He's down 3 scores in the fourth quarter. Now he's got to drop back and throw it. This is not the guy, obviously, that was the starter going into the season. He's not the guy that was the starter the previous couple of games. But now he's the guy that's got to finish, and this is where you want to be if you're Porter Ridge.
Mavericks playing from behind, trying to mount the comeback, thrown up the middle, and it's picked off. Johnson with some room to go. Gets around Despard. End zone. Porter Ridge with another touchdown.
And Darren, this is exactly what I just talked about. They just sink underneath here, and he attacks that crossing route. Harrison does and gets the pick, and then it's all athleticism and speed. Turns that corner, and he's into the end zone. That's a big-time defensive play. That's what you want to do. You want to put an offense in a situation where you're dictating to them what they have to do, and then you can react to it defensively. Coach Hertz coaches those linebackers, as you mentioned, and there's the big play right there that likely seals this ballgame. Another one of those turnovers, another takeaway. This time they immediately put points on the board.
Vladimir, the extra point is true, 35-10. Those scores, Reggie, 21 seconds apart on the game clock.
That's big time.
10th interception of the season for Porter Ridge. This defense and special teams continues to wreak havoc. And look, Reggie, I defer to you in such matters, but this type of relentless effort on defense, as you see, they've added a tally or two to these numbers. Now 10 interceptions, 7 fumbles recovered on the season. This is the type of style of play that, you know, sometimes the offense can look be a little slow,
yeah,
but this travels.
You said the exact words. If your defense and your running game get on the bus, you got a chance every game. And I'm going to tell you what this reminds me of with Coach Hertz and this Porter Ridge football team, and I mean this with all due respect. It hasn't looked as much like this the last few years. This is Kirk Ferentz at Iowa. This is what they make you play a certain way. They defend you. They beat you up. They physically dominate you in their mindset and how they want to play, and it eventually takes over in the fourth quarter.
Another kickoff presented by Queen City Audio, Video, and Appliances. Jeremiah Lazewski, a lot of room to run here. Misses a man and is down just past the 40-yard line on his way up the field.
Jeremiah Lazewski on the return. First and 10 for the Mavericks.
Nice return there by Lazewski. Runs through a couple of tackles, but then takes that big hit there as he tried to get up towards midfield.
And it's funny, he had Jake Schumacher there as his then lead tackler. He outran the block, or lead blocker, Jake Schumacher. He outran the block and then eventually got caught. Now it's Luke Wakefield in the backfield with Rediger as Marvin Ridge will try this again, now down 25. Wakefield receives the handoff up the middle, a bounce to his right, and is stuffed by Jatavian Taylor.
This is where now, obviously, Porter Ridge is clock watching and they don't want to give up big plays. And if you're Marvin Ridge, you got to get chunks of yardage in a hurry.
Gain of 3, it's 2nd and 7. Rediger rolls, immediately hits Jackson Gibbs, a stiff arm. Laboring for every inch, not quite to the first down marker, but it's a nice gain to make it a short third.
3rd down and 2.
Yeah, that's important to get these manageable third downs, but I'll be honest right now, if you're Coach Carter of Marvin Ridge, you don't even want to see 3rd down come up. You want to pick up first downs on first down.
They need 2 here. It's a pitch to Wakefield, and he's brought down, wrangled by Jatavian Taylor. Who else?
That is a huge tackle there. Comes off the edge and comes flying downhill and makes that play in the backfield. That is a big-time defensive play.
This Pirates defense is something else. Looking to advance to 5-1 on the season. And it'll be punted away by Marvin Ridge. Danny Kennedy has made his fair share of plays in this one. He's back to receive the punt and return it. And the Mavericks call a timeout. Play clock was winding down. This will just be a quick pause.
Yeah, they were late getting one of the linemen, if you will, up there into the game, and that cost them a timeout right there. Again, you're down essentially 4 scores. The last thing you want is to give away timeouts when the clock already wasn't moving.
Marvin Ridge seemingly running out of time. 7:22 to play, and they are punting it away. Snap received by Dawson Jones. And it's out of bounds. This will be spotted at the 24-yard line of Porter Ridge. We'll step aside for a moment before this possession here on BahakelSports.com. Back with you from Waxhaw, North Carolina. Bahakel Sports Game of the Week, 35-10 advantage for Porter Ridge. They just got possession back. Ziggy Harris was the motion man. Samad Peoples receives the handoff from Jared Lockhart for a short gain as they will look to milk the clock here in the fourth quarter.
And the conversation here is real simple, right? It's really, really simple. Hold on to the football. We're not going to go fast. We're going to take our time and just run the football and try to bleed this clock out.
Peoples again immediately bounces to his left, tumbles into a tackler. Nice little gain to make it a very manageable third down. It'll be 3rd and 1 for the Pirates.
Yeah, in this fourth quarter, when you think about it, remember Porter Ridge had the football to start the fourth quarter after about a minute of the third quarter and held it for 3 minutes. 2.5, 3 minutes there, and now this drive going to eat up a lot of clock as well. Time of possession now and the amount of snaps that this defense has been on the field really starting to add up.
So we saw Harris go in motion and then retreat back to his initial positioning. He'll do the same thing. Peoples with a basketball-style pro hop through a defender. He gets 2 yards on the carry, and it's enough to move the 6.
Yeah, and moving the chains there was the most important aspect.
Another Costa Heating, Cooling, and Electrical first down for the Pirates.
We're heading down towards 5 minutes, and they've only really gone about 15 or 18 yards.
Peoples again. Man, those legs do not stop moving, but he's brought down.
And he's got 2 hands on the football as well. So securing the ball and driving those legs, get whatever you can.
PJ Balabe with the tackle for the Mavericks. It's a good bounce-back performance for Porter Ridge. We talked about both of these teams coming off of losses prior to byes a week ago.
Yeah, this is huge. And to be able to do it on the road in an environment like this against a quality opponent, it's major.
Screen to Keisaiah Harris, dropped and incomplete. So now to be 3rd and 9 for Porter Ridge. This has really been, Reggie, the complexion of this offense changed in the second half, mainly due to third down conversions. They're 4 of 5 so far in the second half. I mean, that's been everything.
Yeah, and the 4 they got all 5 yards or less. So they were winning first and second down to really set themselves up to be in third and manageable situations.
They got between 8 and 9 yards to go here.
I still don't think they put the ball in the air here. Yep, good decision.
Here it goes. Peoples, a bounce outside, trying to get to the stick. Not quite enough. Maybe a gain of 7 or 8 there.
Yeah, the only thing I tell Peoples there is don't go out of bounds. Just cut that one upfield, even if you got to run into a defender. Lower your shoulder and try to drive your legs to get that first down. But certainly don't go out of bounds there, although the clock is still moving.
Yeah, I think I saw the signal from the judge over there that he was brought down out of bounds. He said, keep the clock moving.
Well, because he's moving forward. If your forward progress is still going, they're not going to call that a stoppage of the clock there. I think here they're going to let this run all the way down till about 1 second on the play clock and then punt the football.
1 on the play clock. There's the snap. Bridewell puts the big, powerful leg into it. Fair catch for Schumacher.
Yeah, that's one I think he realized it after he caught it. I probably had a chance to do something with this one.
Yeah, that was a line drive of a kick. But, when you're up 25 as Porter Ridge is, you can dare them.
Yeah.
Being Marvin Ridge, you can dare them with a low-lying kick like that.
Think about
to take the risk, because this is a situation where Marvin Ridge probably is going to tend not to be as risk averse.
That's exactly right. And you add to that, right, the amount of time that Porter Ridge just took off that clock. They got that ball back with somewhere around 8 minutes left. You're talking about 4.5 minutes off that clock.
Rediger with a handoff. Lazuski. Forgive me, that is Zach Lee, the junior.
Zach Lee on the carry.
Getting the carry. So Marvin Ridge perhaps now in let's get guys reps mode. That's the first carry of the season for Lee. Here he is again, off tackle right.
Sometimes that's about being fresh. Now you get a fresh one in there, fresh back in there. Made a couple of nice runs.
That's enough for a first down for Marvin Ridge. And now 1st and 10 again. He receives the handoff. He's stuffed that time. 4, 5 white jerseys in his grill. That clock continues to roll. So Marvin Ridge evidently content with their fate this evening. Lee, a bolt up the middle. Gets
Lee is
by
not content.
And he's brought down at the 30.
Lee says, the score may be one thing, but I'm going to maximize my opportunities in this football game and continue to run hard.
35 yards worth on his 3rd carry of the season, and he'll get another as a reward. A step outside, and he's brought down after a gain of a few. Well, I think for Marvin Ridge's purposes, Lazuski has been the guy for them in the run game. There could be some silver lining here to discovering that you've got a motivated backup in a guy like Zach Lee who can execute some plays against a defense that, is up 25 points, but it's a defense that is about to be 5-1 collectively as a team, with that side of the football being a big reason why.
And you always have to look for more and more guys that can help you make plays and win ball games, no matter the situation, and this proving to be one of them so far tonight.
Luke Wakefield with the more recent carry. Marvin Ridge, a 3rd and 7 here. Rediger the fake. Throws it short. Almost intercepted a couple of times. First it was in McLaughlin's arms, then Sahir. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Well, Reds, we've seen just about every top team there is to see in the state or in the Charlotte area. Some of the bigger teams in the state. Rediger, quick out, incomplete. It'll turn it over on downs. We've had Porter Ridge each of their last 2 games. A loss at Monroe, and then this one, a pretty emphatic statement by my estimation here. How do you figure they stack up? I mean, we're about to sandwich this performance with consecutive or 2 of our last 3 West Charlotte games, because we'll be at Huff where the Lions and the Huskies face off next week, and that's one of the top teams in the area. I mean, this is an impressive performance.
Yeah, they really are. I love what they do schematically on defense. They do an excellent job attacking downhill and playing on your side of the ball. And then offensively with this triple option attack, if you don't see it consistently, it can really give you a lot of problems. They do a good job mixing that in with some spread offense principles. So schematically, I like what they do on both sides. But Darren, what they do in terms of creating extra possessions by using special teams and getting turnovers, that's at another level than we've really seen so far this year. I think you put all those ingredients together with how well coached they are and the talent they have. This is a team that has a chance to do some damage in the playoffs.
They'll kneel it out with Lockhart.
They should not have to snap it again.
Both teams retreat to their respective sidelines. A big, big road victory for Porter Ridge. They'll take it 35-10 on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. 5 wins, 1 loss on the season now for the Pirates. A big-time performance, bouncing back off of the loss and using the bye week effectively.
It's a great job, excellent job by Coach Hurts and his staff, getting his kids back refocused, using that bye week to get some guys healthy, focus on themselves, and get prepared for this ball game. And they finished this game much better than they finished their last outing. Started slow this game, but they finished really, really well. That's something they love to see going back over to Porter Ridge High School.
Another good one in the books for Reggie Walker, the rest of our Bahakel Sports crew. I'm Darren Vaughn saying so long from Marvin Ridge High School. Final score, 35-10. Porter Ridge gets it on the road. Of our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week coverage. Happy to be with you from Marvin Ridge High School in Waxhaw, North Carolina. He's Reggie Walker. I'm Darren Vaught. We had a fun one tonight. Porter Ridge did not lead in the first half, Reggie. They came back in the second with a vengeance. They really established the running game with their multiple look out of that triple option set, and they end up with a 25-point victory, 35-10 over the home team, the Mavericks.
Well, what you saw in this game was the opposite of what we saw the last time we had this team, which was before their bye week. They're coming off the bye week. They started well in that game and did not finish well in that game. And this game started a little bit slow, but boy, did they finish this game with authority in the third and fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. Let's have a look at how things proceeded in our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. The Pirates advanced to 5 wins and 1 loss on the season. And really, it was that running game that allowed them to succeed the way that they did. Here's the first of 2 rushing scores in the second half by Danny Kennedy. This one, 58 yards off of the pitch.
Yeah, that triple option work, it gives you something to look at, and if everybody doesn't take care of their assignment the right way, it can really, really cost you. They brought it back later as well and got another touchdown out of it. Kennedy was excellent in those option situations throughout this ball game. Lockhart was great, but this guy right here, Jatavian Taylor, was the guy in this football game. His ability not only on the defensive side, but also on the offensive side of the football to make the type of plays he was able to make throughout this game. He was the catalyst really throughout this game to really get this team going. Their offense was good. Their defense and special teams absolutely exceptional, as the pick 6 is what really sealed this football game for the Pirates.
Harrison Johnson with the interception for the score. We talked a lot tonight about the defense and special teams for this Porter Ridge squad. Jatavian Taylor, not only is he an integral part of that, he recovered a fumble defensively in this one, including a barrage of tackles for the Pirates. The 2 rushing scores for him as well were huge. We've seen him block punts so far this season. He is a big piece in every facet of the game of what these Pirates are all about now at 5-1.
Yeah, 5-1, and with a defense that will smother you and a special teams unit that makes plays and puts an impact on games as well. You have to love what this football team is all about. To me, Darren, you think about this team as they head towards the playoffs. Obviously, some games left here in the regular season, but as they head towards the playoffs, they're battle-tested. They've been on the road in some tough games, and they pulled out a big one here tonight.
Well, and Reggie, we've seen the best of the best in the area here on our Bahakel Sports Game of the Week. How good do you think Porter Ridge can be? As be sure to tune in next week. We'll be with West Charlotte at Huff. Second time around, third time for one of these 2 teams. It'll be the 3rd time we've seen West Charlotte, the 3rd we've seen Huff. That should be a big one.
I think it's going to be huge. I think it's 2 football teams that historically, especially over the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, have always been in the mix in the playoffs, regardless of 3A or 4A level. And these are 2 programs that have stability. Even though there's a new coach at Huff this year, it's a guy that had been there before in Coach Baker, and then Sam Griner at West Charlotte. 2 great coaches, 2 athletic teams, great programs. Going to be a fun one next Friday night.
Be sure to join us right here on BahakelSports.com. The Blitz with the rest of the Bahakel Sports crew continues next.